Alright, hey everybody. Today I actually have another sort of educational video for you regarding Titanfall, but you can extrapolate this out to any FPS in general, or to really just any competitive team-based game in general. So the idea that we're looking at is how to carry, how to be, like for example, if you play a MOBA, you'll hear of somebody playing an attack damage carry, or someone who will be an ability power carry, or something like that. Someone who is meant to just do so much damage later on in the game that they carry their team into victory, even if that means taking some losses in the early game in order to reach that goal. Exertus Zen is one of the most perfect examples of this, back from the Titanfall PC CTF Clash $1,000 tournament many millions of eons ago. They were a team that perfectly encapsulated this, where they were willing to take some losses in the early game in order to get a big Titan control, get a bunch of map control, and just carry through the game later on. Now that kind of is a stretch, because generally when you're talking about a carry, you're talking about an individual. But I mean, there's kind of some similarities there that I suppose that you could compare. Anyways, we're taking a look at actually a little bit of my own gameplay today. This is just from some attrition games I was playing while I was streaming. You may hear me speaking a little bit to the stream in the background, but there are some good notes that I'm making. So right there, I just noted 20 seconds left. If you look down on the bottom right of my Titan timer, 20 seconds left. Note that we have, I'm going to pause it right here just because I have a lot of stuff to talk about, that we're down by 44 points or so, 43 points, never do math live. Down 3 Titans to none. I had 20 seconds left on my Titan timer, so I needed to do something just to get, that last few seconds, or just not die. So, luckily enough for me, there was a Titan walking by that was not smart enough to notice me, so quick charge rifle shot, easy, whatever. So now I'm in a position where I'm in a safe spot, right? Right where I'm floating right here. There's a big wall off to my left. There's walls in front of me and behind me. It's very unlikely that anyone's going to shoot me while I'm in the process of dropping down into this hole. It's possible that there's going to be some pilots in this hole, judging by the map. If we look at my map on the top left here, you see there's a pilot across the street over there. There's some minions that are shooting in this building. As we know, generally where minions are spawning, there are usually pilots nearby. So we can extrapolate there might be at least 1 or 2 pilots inside this building currently, or nearby on this side of the street. Hopefully you can see my mouse while I'm doing all this. So it might be a safe place for me to be. But, I have just shot, I have just revealed myself. I should have a couple pilots that are looking in my general direction at this point in time. So, I have a Titan ready. They have 3 Titans ready. Or, not even ready. They have 3 Titans down on the field. Is this a good time to drop? Probably not. But, we're going to go ahead and do it anyways, because what the hell. I know the 2 of them are chain guns. I don't know what the 3rd one is. So I figure that, if I play safe, I play smart, I might be able to actually, just farm up some minions, get up a damage core, and be ready. But they see me drop, and this Strider immediately charges me. And I already want to say that this was an absolutely terrible idea by this Strider. He's not using any cover to his advantage whatsoever. He popped all the way around this wall and began shooting me with a Strider with a chain gun. Now, I have to bring the meta into play here. That is, just by the meta of Titanfall, a terrible choice in loadout to begin with. Sorry, Azoth, but, if you watch this, but dude, a chain gun is a gun that you're going to have to be ADS'd constantly in order to use effectively, and the Strider is a Titan that's built around going fast. So unless you're using a dash core, you're not taking advantage of the Strider's, mobility whatsoever. You're actually very much so hampering yourself, and you have a very tiny health pool to boot. So while this guy is so busy just staring while ADSing at me, he's taking so much free damage because he's just not moving at all to evade my 40 mil shots. Yeah, he kills a pilot in front of me that just happens to jump in the line of fire, but, whatever. So now, I killed that Titan, easy peasy. I haven't even lost a full bar of health. I still have a slight sliver on top of this first bar. I think I had a little bit more, but I've taken just a touch from these 2 Titans that are rushing me now. So you see I have an Atlas with quad rockets, and then another Atlas with chain gun rushing at me here. So what am I going to do? I have no shields, my health is low, I have no ammo left in my mag. Well, I do have a damage core ready, I have core accelerator to get that damage core up, I have shield quick charger, which, again, meta picks. These are the things that high-level players use for a reason on pretty much all their Titan loadouts. So the only response from me here is to damage core up and get that particle wall going. So, but kind of delay it just a little bit. See, look at when I drop this particle wall. Look, I just dropped it at this moment, and look how far into my damage core I already am. I could have waited probably about to like the 3/4 mark down here before I actually dropped this, but I went ahead and dropped it early just because, you know, 2 Titans are rushing at you. You do panic a little bit. The main reason that I dropped this particle wall here is not because it gave me a tactical advantage over these guys. It's because I wanted to get the shield recharge. Like, getting that 3,000 hit points back with the shield quick charger pretty much instantaneously is way more important to me than whatever advantage positionally I may gain from the particle wall. But I did happen to drop it in a relatively decent spot, I guess, where it did force the 2 Titans to split. So now there's one on my right and one along my left side. I'm choosing to focus on the Quad Rocket Titan, A, because he was just in front and he's the first one I started shooting, but B, because he is a way bigger threat to me in this moment. The Quad Rockets are capable of doing a lot more damage to me, you know, in this scenario that they have me in right now, than the chain gun is able to be. So I'm just ignoring the chain gun because I can only shoot one guy at a time. And look at this. This guy, so let me back up a little, just a couple of seconds. This guy, when he came around the corner, look how much health he had, okay? He had 5 bars of health and a full shield. He's got a full stick of butter there. He's got, you know, roughly the same amount of health that I do when I start this fight. We're going to fast forward back through it. Okay, so at this point where I've dropped the wall, I've lost like half of a bar of health. He's lost a bit of his shields. I haven't shot him a whole lot quite yet because I'm busy reloading, damage coring up, and just getting ready for the ensuing fight. We fast forward, and this guy just takes damage, 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 damage. Look at this. He's down to 1 bar of health, and I've only lost a pip and a half of shields. Like, this is the power of just playing intelligently. Like, pressing WM1 towards your target is not what you need to be doing as a Titan, almost ever. Like, is it really worth it? You know, and let's getting back to this the carrying point this video was initially supposed to be about is, if this guy was playing intelligently, if he was trying to be a carry for his team, is it really in his best interest to walk in a straight line at me and try to kill me through a particle wall while I have a damage core 40mm up, and he's like in a tight little alley where he doesn't really have anywhere to move? Is that really a good decision on his part to begin with? No, it's really not. Like, what if you're playing a MOBA and you are, you know, you're playing Heroes of the Storm, for example. You're playing a specialist, like you're playing Nazebo, or you're playing the Queen. What the hell is her name? Whatever the Queen's name is, Zagara. And you decide, okay, I'm going to camp this bush, and I'm going to wait for their attack damage carry to walk a little bit too far forward in lane, and then I'm going to try and blow them up. Well, turns out that attack damage carry, which in this case is me, has all their resources off cooldown, ready to go, and is ready to blow your face off for being out of position and rushing them from a location that you have no business attacking them from. That's what this guy is accomplishing here, which is nothing. So we're going to just keep going through. I mean, this guy gets lit up. Okay, so he's doomed. I'm unfortunately standing in a cluster because I'm out of dashes, as you can see. Right here, right above the Doom Titan, you see I have like 1/3 to 1/2 of a dash charged up at this point. I have no mobility saved because I'm so busy dashing backwards. Perhaps a little bit of bad play on my part, something that I could improve. But look at here. That guy is doomed. I have just over half a bar of health at this point. I'm still standing in the cluster. I'm going to take a bit more. But let's see. Where is this guy at? Look, okay. So look where this guy's health is at. Somehow his shields are down throughout all of this. I have no idea how, after shooting him just like once or twice, his shields are already down. Maybe I has splashed onto him with a couple of 40mm shots when the engagement first started. And then now that I have damage core up, that was probably enough to pop the shields. But look at this. 3 bars of health versus a full stick of butter minus shields here. This guy, look, this guy came all the way behind me, right? He started back there. I'm not even all the way far back enough yet. Go back. Look, look how far back he came from. So at 3:15, he was coming around the corner. And now, what is this? 10 seconds later, he's straight up behind me. Why is he behind me? This guy has a chain gun. This guy has a long-range weapon that's meant to poke and prod at me from a long distance. Why is he rushing me, and why is he at point blank from this distance using a chain gun and running out of ammo right when I'm ready to turn on him, when he could be right back here? Why would he attack me like that when he could just be standing right there? He would have this wall, this big freaking wall of the building to use as cover. Like, he could just be plinking away at me, and as soon as I kill his teammate and start looking at him, he can tank like 2 shots for my 40 mil and then duck back behind the wall, reload, and I'm in a really crappy position. I have pretty much no dashes left. I have no resources. My shields are down. Like, he is in a powerful position over me, but yet he doesn't choose to do that. Instead, he chooses to rush at me. And, sorry, I went a little bit too far forward here. So, look at what happens to the guy. You know, he pops smoke, which should have popped right on top of me when I ran out of dashes as opposed to doing that. And the only reason that I died to this was because there was a pilot right next to me with that Sidewinder that ended up finishing me off. So, getting back to the whole carrying thing, you have to make really smart decisions. You have to not always go for every kill at every possible moment, at every aggression that you can possibly do. That's not how you need to be playing the game. You need to be very, very cautious with your health bar, your positioning. You have to stay back. You have to be very careful with your decision making. So here's what I'm trying to say. Stop dying so much. Stop taking your resources and just throwing them at your enemy and trying to trade evenly with them, because trying to trade evenly with them does not help your team. You're not creating a lead. You're not creating an advantage over the enemy team that way. You're just simply trying to keep the playing field level. The best you can accomplish when playing in that way is to break even. You have to play in a way that you can try to, separate yourself from the enemy team. Try to create an advantage over them. So here, let's go back to the very beginning. Excuse me. I dropped my Titan in a very poor position here, right? At a very poor timing. Like, I know I'm dropping right on top of their whole enemy team. I know that I'm at a huge Titan disadvantage. I stand up in my dome shield there because I know, like, I'm gonna get lit up as soon as I move. Like, I want to just time out their poor decisions. And I start to move into an area where I know I will have an advantage, into one that has a lot of cover for me to use, but a little bit less for them to use. Somewhere that I have a little bit more mobility than they might, even though it's, it's like the same area. See, right here, they're in the advantage right now, kind of, because I have that big bus behind me that I can't see. I have to, you can see it on the map here if I was smart enough to look at the map while playing, and, you have these cross lines to, very, very accurately pinpoint, where you're at in relation to where you're aiming, and, you can move around cover by staring at your map like this. But by staring at the map, I'm not staring at my crosshairs and shooting these guys. So at this moment, let's assume that these two guys had, real guns, like if they both had 40 mils, or one was a 40 mil, one was a arc cannon. I'd be dead. I'd be freaking dead, because they're in a powerful position over me. They would be using their resources effectively. Like, they're willing to trade a couple of bars of health on both of their Titans, and perhaps even a core if it means killing my Titan and me as a pilot, because that's 9 points for them and 0 points for me, basically. That's what you need to look at it as. Like, yeah, you lose a little bit of health on your Titans, but when you have 2 Titans up as opposed to none on the enemy team, which would be my team, they're still in a position of power. They can still farm with those Titans. They can still oppress pilots with those Titans and be in a very, very good spot to create a large lead against my team. So, unfortunately, they are not using like very strong weapons. They're not playing to their Titan's strengths. They're not working to carry for their team. They're not trying to gain points or win for their team. They're just trying to kill me, and that's it. They're not focused on accomplishing anything else. And as you've seen before, and we'll see again, this is what happens to you when you try to do stuff like this. And it's not just saying, oh, well, I'm just so good with the 40 mil. No, I'm actually garbage. But this is just how you need to think about the game and approach the game in order to perform very well. Whether you're playing attrition, pilot hunter, CTF, hardpoint, whatever, you need to be smart about what you're doing. You need to approach all of your situations from a position of power. Like, look at that there. I have garbage aim, right? I'm not a good player. I don't have that good of aim. I could not shoot that guy worth a damn. But you see what I did is I got in a position of power, right? So I knew that pilot was going to come for me, because after I ejected from my Titan, I knew he's going to look for me after shooting me with the Sidewinder. God, I really wish you could see where I'm pointing with my hands right now. But I knew he's coming after me with that, the guy with the Sidewinder is going to come and try and kill me. So I'm trying to stay in a position of power, right? I'm trying to stay way up above, really high up. So when he comes around that corner like I knew he was going to do, I can jump off of it, move tangentially over his head, so he has no chance of being able to accurately shoot at me. What also is over in the direction that I'm jumping, well, there's this big wall over here on the bottom right of my screen right now. Hopefully you can see my mouse dragging over it, but I know that there's that wall which is elevated, and then the ground dips. So I can start moving towards that area. So you see me get over the wall, and look at that. I get a lucky headshot on the guy, but look at my positioning right now in comparison to the street. Like, the level of the street is probably about 3/4 of the way up on this wall. Again, hopefully you can see my mouse. It's about 3/4 of the level up on that wall. So I am down below, his plane of aiming. He only is able to see like my upper torso and head. He can't see a lot of my body. I'm presenting a much smaller target for him to hit. I'm not increasing his chances of getting a headshot on me or anything like that, because it doesn't really work that way. I'm just presenting a smaller target. He has a smaller target to hit. He must go for a headshot or pretty much nothing at all. And judging by the gun that he's using, I can tank a couple of headshots from him, whereas he cannot tank a headshot from me using a wingman. So he chooses a poor engagement there. He just rushes around the corner in a way that he really should not have. Like, if he's playing like something like Counter-Strike, if he's playing a more competitive FPS where times to kill and accuracy overall is quite a bit better, he would be smart enough to stay around that corner right there. Like, if he was predicting me to come around here, he would stay right over there, and he would be waiting for me to come around and waiting for me to expose myself, not expose himself, and just run out in the middle of the open like this. Just, again, very poor positioning, very poor play, just not thinking ahead on what he's doing. In that situation, I did think ahead. I thought, if this guy's going to come after me, this is where I need to go to be in a position of power over him and to beat him more effectively. And again, that's just another kind of a silly situation. This guy, look how far out he walks right here. He's right to the left of my SMG. Look how far out from that building that he's walking. He already knows that I'm way out in the open, right behind that wall on the sandy beach there. He knows that I'm standing out there. He could see me on his mini-map. He can hear me. He knows that I'm there. So what does he do? He walks all the way out of this building and starts trying to shoot at me this way. And I just bounce on top of his head and kick him.
Oh my God.
He's, again, coming out into my house, right? He's not fighting from his own position of power. I'm fighting him from where I'm most powerful, and he loses the fight because of that. Again, this next guy that dies to me does the exact same thing. So I'm going to get... Oh, I need to go a little further back. So I jump kick that guy. Where's this guy come from? Let's see, I'm going to keep... Okay, there he is right there. See in the bottom right corner hand of my screen, right here. He comes around this corner the entire way, jumping around, just trying to go fast, because going fast is fun, to try and kill me. And look, he never shoots at me once. He sees me and starts priming an arc grenade to throw at me. Or something. I don't even know what he was doing. It looked like he was throwing a grenade, but I never even had a grenade come near me. I don't know what the heck he was doing there. He never even shot at me. So again, like, how are you supposed to gain points for your team? How are you supposed to carry your team to victory by doing stuff like that? It boggles my mind. Like, you need to play intelligently. You need to think about your actions before you do them. It's not about just going fast all the time because it's fun to go fast. Like, because all these people fed me. They fed me kills. Look at the Titan differential right now. We have 3 Titans ready. We're only down by 30 points instead of like the 43 that we were down before. And I have a free Titan drop. Like, I have a Titan back already. I've just destroyed 3 Titans in their team and 3 pilots in their team, and I have a Titan already. And that was right where the clip ended, unfortunately. But, like, that's just the power of playing intelligently, the power of trying to carry for your team and playing to conserve your own life. Picking up points when you can, obviously. You have to do that, of course. But just be smart about it. Like, don't throw your life away trying to trade 1 for 1. Like, you need to attack everything within your power or within your ability from a position of power, from somewhere that you know that you can win the fight, or you're very, very likely to win that fight and trade up. So I hope this was informative to you guys. Hope this was helpful to you. I could show you more clips, but this video would go from being like 11,000 minutes long like it is already to like 20 million minutes long. So I think we'll just cut it off here. If you guys have any questions, anything that I can help you understand or elaborate on further in other videos, let me know, and I will be happy to share that with you guys. So anyways, thanks again for watching. Hope you learned something new. I will play the clip through one more time for you just so you can see everything in full speed, and we will see you next time. Take care. 1 on 3. That was probably a bad drop, actually. Let's screw this guy.
You have sustained high damage. The damage core is ready. Activating damage core. You now have increased damage output. Caution, you're outnumbered 2 to 1. Caution, you're outnumbered 2 to 1. Warning, multiple enemy pilots are attacking.
Yeah, 3 for 1. That's a pretty good trade.
Eject, eject, eject. Pilot ejecting.
Catching up, boss, but we're still trailing behind them. You've got to step it up down there.
Oh my god.